Hi. I met my soulmate when I was 14. And we used to sneak out at night in the summer in Florida and go to the beach and fly kites. And I loved kites because they have more questions than they have answers. And when we were in our 20s, we were out on the beach again, and this woman who's now my wife said, do you know how to listen to the wind? And I said the only respectable thing that an engineer can say to that, which is, well, that's ridiculous. Wind is white noise, and everyone knows white noise doesn't have information in it. So no, I don't listen to the wind. And she has native blood, and she said, some audio that should come out of my computer, but she said, listen to the wind. Just be quiet, really quiet yourself down. The wind doesn't speak loudly. Just kind of shut down your mind a little bit. And so I did, because I loved her, and I tried it. And I felt a deep joy. And then I stopped pursuing information and efficiency, and I changed my life's course a little and started to practice rituals of joy. And actually, about 7 years ago, I went down to the machine shop and carved out this sign that says Joy Labs on it, and hung it on our door in this little tiny dorm room. And we started running all these experiments for things that we found brought us joy. We would teach hatha yoga out of that room, or meditation, or lucid dreaming. Or we would do fasting and raw food workshops. And we turned like the whole dorm room into like a kind of semi-biosphere with plants everywhere, complete with plant bugs called mealybugs and mealybug destroyers, which is mealybug's arch nemesis. So kind of had everything in there. And, you know, this is a human's first experience with something called snow.
What do you think about that?
What's the purpose of snow?
Snow.
What is the material? What do you use it for? Why do we care about snow? This is a human's first experience with pollen. And seeing this through someone else's eyes for the first time can give us a new perspective. What is that stuff? What is it made of? Why is it there? How did it get to be like that? This is just an escalator and an M&M. Not through a baby's eyes, just through my eyes, because I was like, what? And this is chapstick. And I guess chapstick's for keeping your lips from getting dry. And I guess escalators are for lifting people up. But what is the purpose of things? And who said that that was the purpose of it? And how do we decide what purpose means, or who we should listen to when we designate purpose and meaning in life? Where does it come from, and who said so? So being a responsible hippie, I gave my son this book, and I assumed he'd learn about loving nature, and I gave my son this building block set, and I assumed that would be, you know, nice for him to learn about natural architecture. So I gave it to him, and this is his first experience with the two. And he's not using them for the purpose that the people who invented them had designated it for. Instead, he's kind of creating a weapon or something. And he enlisted us. I also built my son this from the hardware store. It has hinges and doorstops and locks and you know, springs and things like that, so that he could learn about, I guess, real materials. And I didn't realize that the doorstop was detachable. You can also shoot that. So where does meaning and purpose for the stuff we have in our world come from? This is some Goldsworthy art. And this artist, you know, like, on one side you see like leaves sorted by hue so that they look like they fade. And he'll just go into nature and take what he finds. On the other side you see icicles that he broke off, heated with his breath, and froze back together. And I took some teens out and said, okay, you know, what's the purpose of nature? Let's try. Here you see like the third stick about to go down to make a triangle under a stream. This is an oak leaf made out of other oak leaves and a leaf tied to a stick with a blade of grass. Here you see some birch bark and the negative space creating a foreground of a swivelly shape. sticks in a mushroom and the springiness of sticks holding them into some trees. So how can we investigate purpose of the things in the world that we live with? Could you make a tool that, like a magnifying glass, the tool itself isn't what's important. It's the world you live in, that the fingerprints and the ladybugs, that's what you discover with a magnifying glass. Could we make a tool like that, but not for seeing alone, but rather seeing and remaking, reconfiguring, repurposing, so you can see the building blocks of the world and be encouraged actually to reconfigure them? This is the latest one in the series that I've been working with. And I'm going to set it up in front of you here. Basically, you would just plug into this bread and plug into this watermelon. And now we should be able to control the slides with the bread and the watermelon. Backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards. And it's that easy to use. Let me show you a little about it. What is the purpose of a banana? Well, if you plug it up, now it's a space bar. This is Play-Doh. You can make things out of Play-Doh. You can also make game controllers out of Play-Doh. Pencils are for drawing things. This works just by plugging it in, and it works right away. There's no drivers, there's no software. It's something that you can actually use and start to investigate the purpose of things like plastic drawers that should hold your clothing. Stairs that normally are for walking on, kind of like escalators. Humans. Skin-to-skin contact actually brings you to the same voltage potential. And cat bowls. And this is just using the photo booth app on a Mac. And I made sure to put the proper warning labels on all of the boxes. I wouldn't want anybody who was domesticated, to get worried that, their humans around them were becoming undomesticated. And down there it says, the world is your construction kit. And I take that very seriously, so much that I worked with an artist to render one version of what the world may look like if it were a construction kit, which, by the way, it really is. So it does look like that. And I put that out in the world. I put that kit out in the world, and this is what I got back. I don't know these people. The Star-Spangled Banner as a meal. I actually just contacted that guy yesterday and asked him if I could sponsor him as a professional maker. Plants as drums. A digital circuit becomes a kiss. A cardboard sword as an interface for Minecraft. And this guy makes a web cloud server out of a bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich. And here, this brother proposed to make a trampoline slideshow for his sister so she could control her slideshow at her birthday party. And this is last example. These are all from the wild. This is another person I don't know, a dad, whose son has cerebral palsy, and he wanted to make a mouse controller for his son so that he can browse the web and read digital comic books. I consider myself and this to be part of the maker movement. And maker, what does that mean? Everyone's asking always. And maker of what? And who's a maker? And I think it's a maker of purpose, a maker of meaning. That's my answer for what a maker is. When you're changing the way the world works with your two hands, it's like, don't vote in the booth, vote with your hands and make a change. Change the purpose of your room, your house, your yard, your area that's yours. Curate that area. And a reporter asked me, who's the ultimate maker? And I was like, that's a trick question. Okay, you're the ultimate maker. Whoever's listening to this out there, whoever's reading this article, you, because we're all the ultimate maker. He said, yeah, he wasn't satisfied. I want to know, like, let's say like Mitch Altman, he's a famous maker, like, how could you be like him? And I said, well, another trick question. OK, so to be like the ultimate maker, again, look inside, find your inspiration, and be like you, because that's what a guy like Mitch would do. He looks inside for inspiration and is like himself. And so I guess that as makers and as part of the maker movement, the world that I'd like to live in is a world where everybody helps to make it in their own way, so that it's a hodgepodge of different collections of contributions of reflecting everyone's own internal inspiration, kind of the way nature is, but with humans. That would be a beautiful world for me to live in. Thanks.
It's great to see you.